Torrential downpours across the Northeast have triggered a state of emergency in New Jersey, with widespread flooding swamping parts of New York City, particularly in Queens, Brooklyn, and Staten Island. Governor Kathy Hochul has also declared a state of emergency for several New York counties, citing the potential for severe storms and life-threatening flash flooding. On the Clearview Expressway in Queens, the scene was one of total inundation this afternoon. Department of Transportation cameras showed a sea of brown, muddy water where a multi-lane highway should have been. At the northern edge of this flooded area, near 35th Street, a sedan was submerged nearly to its roof, a stark testament to the speed and depth of the rising water. At approximately 3:30 in the afternoon, an emergency responder in a bright red life vest was seen arriving on the scene. He first made his way to the stranded car, meticulously opening all 4 doors and the trunk. But he found the vehicle empty. His attention then shifted to a partially submerged semi-truck nearby. He swam to the passenger side, opened the door, and helped the person inside exit the cab. Together, they navigated the treacherous water to reach the safety of the side of the road. An hour later, at 4:30 p.m., the highest recorded flooding citywide was reported on Staten Island, at the corner of Catherine Court and Jewett Avenue. Water at this location reached a depth of 21.3 inches, a level that would render most passenger vehicles inoperable. Brett Branco, the director of the Science and Resilience Institute at Jamaica Bay, emphasized the seriousness of this measurement, stating, "Anytime you're over a foot, yeah, we're talking a lot of water." By 7 p.m., the Franklin Delano Roosevelt Drive, which had been closed for hours, had finally reopened to traffic. A small sense of normalcy was also returning to the Clearview Expressway, where northbound lanes north of 35th Street in Queens were beginning to move again. However, the southbound lanes remained completely blocked by tow trucks working to extract the car and the semi-truck that had been stranded by the floodwaters. In the Auburndale section of Queens, residents described the situation in real time. "The weather got really nasty really fast," said Zach Lintz, who watched as at least 3 vehicles, including a tractor trailer, got stuck on the flooded thoroughfare. Video from the scene showed one driver sitting on the roof of his car, a surreal and desperate image, like a raft stranded in the muddy currents. Lintz recalled the moments of panic, noting, "Couple guys got stuck, you know? They couldn't go forward or backward, and the water just kept rising." Another resident, Bree Taveras, spoke of her fear for the drivers, saying, "I was worried about the people inside. I was hoping they were going to get out."
Oh shit! Niggas is stuck everywhere, kid! Niggas is stuck everywhere!
The weather conditions that led to these chaotic scenes involved a cold front moving across the region. Richard Bann, a meteorologist at the Weather Prediction Center, an arm of the National Weather Service, explained that the front was interacting with air that was unusually warm, humid, and unstable for this time of year. This atmospheric combination, he said, was allowing storms to become stronger with very intense rainfall rates, upward of 2 inches per hour. The Weather Prediction Center had issued a level 3 out of 4 risk for excessive rainfall, covering a wide area from Washington, Baltimore, and Philadelphia to New York City. The forecast had warned of locally significant flash flooding, particularly for areas close to the Poconos and the higher elevations of southern New England, where rainfall of up to 1.5 inches per hour was expected. Farther south, from northern New Jersey to northern Virginia, storms were forecast to be even more intense, with up to 3 inches of rain per hour. Mr. Bann noted that some places were expected to get over 5 inches of total rain, and because the ground was already saturated in some of these locations, any additional water was more likely to run off and cause rapid flooding.
You can see the water is about 2 feet over the roof over here. So I'm trying to somehow, at least unclog it a little bit before this gets into our apartment. We are on the 2nd floor. Send me that other video, please.
The intermittent heavy rain throughout the day led to hundreds of weather-related delays and cancellations at airports all along the East Coast. Flight tracking service FlightAware reported that flights to major airports, including Philadelphia International Airport, LaGuardia International Airport, Baltimore Washington International Airport, Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport, and Washington Dulles International Airport, were all paused. Among the major domestic carriers, Southwest Airlines experienced the most significant operational disruption, with 45% of its daily flights, more than 2,000 flights, delayed as of early evening.
Look at the car next. Look at the car next. This is too much.
There's water on the inside? Oh my fucking god. You said what? You said what? Yeah, please.
Never in my life.
While many communities were struggling, the city of Baltimore took a range of precautions. City officials closed flood-prone streets, opened free parking for people who live in low-lying areas, and set up stations to hand out sandbags. All city-sponsored outdoor activities were canceled, and public pools were closed. The Maryland Port Administration even closed the front gate at the Port of Baltimore's Seagrit Marine Terminal to truck traffic in anticipation of dangerous weather. However, hours later the storms had passed Baltimore without incident. There was barely any standing water on the cobblestone streets of Fells Point, the city's most flood-prone community, and even the water taxis, which stopped running during storms, were carrying passengers by 6:45 p.m. Unfortunately, the same was not true for all of Maryland. Northeast of Baltimore, in Harford County, a major highway was so inundated that afternoon that first responders had to rescue 2 people from their partially submerged car. Officer Jano Lieber addressed the challenges, saying, "What we've experienced is the challenge of having really old infrastructure and being subject to the water that comes from all over, down onto tracks and hitting the subway and commuter rail system. So we've got to fix that. We have to work with our partners in municipalities, especially the city of New York, to keep the water out so we don't have these impacts on transit." Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.